Proposed changes to Vermont's vehicle inspection rules are stirring up some debate at the State House.
Yeah, legislation in Montpelier would change requirements and the way that they're enforced. NBC5's James Maloney joins us live in the newsroom now. James, what are people in the auto industry thinking about this?
Well, Lauren, as we've reported, a Senate bill could change the required inspection rate from every 1 year to every 2 years. The intention is to create less of a burden on consumers.
I see a lot of scenarios where it's needed.
I would support joining our neighbors in New Hampshire and just abolishing inspections.
Debate continues on a Senate bill that could change Vermont's vehicle inspection requirements. If the bill were to pass, the 2-year inspection rate would take effect in 2028, and the state would collect $16 per inspection.
I'm against it, of course.
Some mechanics who offer inspections have concerns about the revenue it generates for them, but Christopher Aruza of Aruza's Automotive in South Burlington says his reservation comes down to safety.
I could name thousands of scenarios where we've caught in a lot of inspection issues, so I'm against it. Of course, if the bill passed, I would still recommend all the recommendations for inspections.
But getting the sticker every year has been described as a frustrating and costly process, especially when inspection fails.
You could go into one place and be failed, another place and be passed.
Retired auto salesman Jacques Lafrancois of Milton holds an inspection license. He doesn't think drivers need an inspection to keep the roads safe, as most go to the shop when necessary. He also thinks keeping the status quo for revenue is a disservice to consumers.
A good quality shop that does good work and treats their customers fairly should not have to depend on state inspections.
A separate piece of legislation would change the classification of certain driving offenses, meaning an officer could no longer pull a driver over for an out-of-date inspection sticker, or other things like an obstructed license plate or windshield. Members of Vermont law enforcement have raised concerns about this, the Vermont Police Association saying they strongly oppose any provision which would prohibit law enforcement officers from requesting the voluntary consent from another to conduct a search. The bill is likely to fail at the State House this session.
As for the 2-year vehicle inspection bill, it's currently in the Senate Finance Committee. It's unclear how much further the bill will progress this legislative session. Live in the newsroom, James Maloney, NBC5 News.